Hi, my name is James Burbank, and for 20 years I was in the United States Air Force. In the last 5 of those years, I was a recruiter in the United States Air Force. So my job was to recruit young men and women to join the United States Air Force. A lot of young men and women will come into my office as the last resort. They'd already tried college and didn't have the money to finish it, or they weren't doing exactly as well as they thought they were going to do in college. Many times their parents would bring them into our office and they would say, well, I'm not going to keep paying for him to sit on my couch and do all the things that he wants to do because I just can't afford both of our lifestyles. But what if I gave you a way today that you could actually get college, get paid, travel the world and see the world and get paid while you're doing it, and set aside money for college after you're done? Would you start to look at the United States Air Force as a first option instead of a last resort? That's what I'm hoping to accomplish today. First of all, we're going to talk about education. Education in the United States Air Force is free. Now, there's several different ways that you can get education in the United States Air Force. The first one is what we call tuition assistance. Tuition assistance, while you're in the Air Force, you can go to all the college classes you want, as long as they're college accredited classes, whether online, or the other great thing that the Air Force does is they bring colleges onto the bases, so you could be stationed anywhere in the world and you could actually go to college classes right there on the base that you're at. You get to sit in a classroom with professors that are paid by the military to come in and actually teach you college accredited classes. Or you can do them online through distance learning courses. The great thing about that is it's free to you. You don't pay a dime for that. The Air Force pays the entire bill for you. Matter of fact, they'll even pay for your books. The other thing that the Air Force is different than all the other branches is the Air Force's formal training is actually college accredited. Not possibly college accredited like some of the other branches. It is formally college accredited through the Southern Association of Colleges and Schools. You say, well, what does that mean, James? Well, the college classes that you're accredited and you're taking in your formal training would be some of the same classes that you would take if you were at Duke University, Clemson University, North Carolina State University. Same body that accredits those 4-year universities is the same body that accredits the Community College of the Air Force. So the Community College of the Air Force is what directs and dictates all the training in the Air Force. So all you have to do is you have to take 5 general ed classes while you're on active duty, and you have an associate's degree because of all the formal training that you have in the Air Force. So you take 5 college classes on your own, you take the formal training that the Air Force pays you to go through, and you have an associate's degree in whatever applied field that you're taking at that point in time. The other thing that we have in the Air Force is what we call the Post 9/11 or the Montgomery GI Bill. Now, the Post 9/11 and the Montgomery GI Bill are for you to take advantage of education after you've done your time in the military. That's currently what I'm on right now as a student at Northwest University. See, so while most students are always looking at how am I going to pay for classes, or mom and dad had to take out loans, or I've got to take out student loans, my classes are paid for. Not only that, but I get an $800 a month stipend on top of my classes and my books being paid for by the military. So I was able to get a lot of my classes and schoolwork done while I was in the Air Force, and then now I'm just finishing up my senior year and I'm not paying a dime for it. The great thing about it, the way I did it is if I choose to, I can continue to go after my master's degree and not pay a dime for that as well. But it's not just education. There's other benefits in the Air Force. Like the next one I'm going to talk to you about is travel and money. 2 things that most kids at the age of 18 want to do. I want to get out of the house, I want to see the world, but I would love to get paid to do it while I'm doing it. Well, welcome to my world. I was 18 years old. Within 6 months of graduating from high school, I had been in over 5 states. I'd been to Texas, North Dakota, Oregon, Oklahoma. I had been in 5 states within 6 months, states that I had never been to before. Also, throughout my 20-year career, I've been in over 100 countries on 5 continents. I've gotten paid to do every single one of those trips. If I get stationed overseas, they move my entire family overseas with me. So my whole family gets to travel while I get paid. Pay, money. It's a big deal for everybody that's your age, right? Well, you start out, you make about $1,400 a month. And you say, well, James, that's only $700 every 2 weeks. That's not a lot of money. But think about it. You're not paying for room and board. You're not paying for anything. that money is yours to spend on whatever you choose to. Want the latest cell phone? Buy the latest cell phone. Want a nice car and can afford the payments? Buy a nice car. You can afford the payments. But there's other perks that come along with it. One of the other perks is what we call ITT, or Information Tickets and Tours. At every base, there's an ITT office. You can go in there and you can buy reduced price tickets to Disneyland, Great America, all the theme parks that are in that area. And they also do some other things that aren't in that area that you could travel around the world and see. The other great thing about the military is fitness centers, gyms, as we like to call them. The fitness centers on base. Imagine the biggest fitness center that you've ever walked into before. It's the biggest one you've ever been into. Now multiply that by 3, and you're walking into a base gym that belongs to the military. You never have to wait in line for weights. There's typically an indoor swimming pool, and there's always something for you to do. They offer classes in spinning, yoga, karate. I mean, anything you could possibly want to do, and it's free. So not only are they going to take care of your money, but they're also going to help take care of you physically as well. The last special incentive program that I'm going to talk to you about is what we call HOPS. It's an acronym for Help Our People Save. So me being active duty military, while I was active duty military, and even now as a retired military, I can take advantage of this. I can go up to any Air Force base, and if they have a flight going to Hawaii, I can jump on that plane for $10 and fly to Hawaii for $10. And that's $10 a person, me and my whole family. I can travel the world, I can see the world, and I pay very little money out of my pocket. So today I've talked to you about some of the different opportunities that the Air Force has to offer. We've talked about education, the ways that the Air Force fits in and takes care of your education. We've also talked that while you're taking care of your education, the Air Force is going to pay you to travel and see the world and do the things that you've always dreamed that wouldn't be possible. The other thing that we talked about is some of the other perks that that the Air Force offers, like the fitness centers, the HOPS, Help Our People Save. I know for me, I spent 20 years in the United States Air Force. I'm getting my bachelor's degree now. I don't have to go in debt. I have the opportunity to pursue my master's degree. Again, I don't have to go in debt. Matter of fact, the military is going to continue to pay me to go to school. So I have a full-time job in ministry, and I'm getting paid to continue my education. A lot of people, when they walk into that office, they look at it as a last resort. I always encourage people, never look at it as a last resort. Look at it as your first resort. Look at it as your best opportunity to pursue the life and the career that you've always wanted. Aim high.